Starting off this hour is Will in Missouri. Hey, Will, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Better than I deserve, man. How can I help?
Hey, so, I've been watching some of your programs recently, and you do talk a lot about, the benefits of joining a good church. I used to be a very devout Catholic. I've recently fallen out of the faith. And my question for you is, do you think joining a church has a long-term effect on your financial and mental health?
Well, I don't know if I've got a doctrinal answer. All I can tell you is what I have experienced, okay? What I have personally experienced is it's had a profound effect on my life. Now, you have to put the caveat, the asterisk there, that anytime there's a gathering of people, you're going to find some idiots. And that includes church, right? You're going to find some toxic people. You're going to find some mean people, some bitter people, some angry people. Anytime there's a gathering of people, you're going to find that, and church is not exempt from that. I think sometimes folks might go to a church and think, well, all the people over there are perfect. Number one, I wouldn't be welcome because I'm not perfect. But then number two, then they have this expectation that this set of humans is somehow never going to mess up or never going to make you angry or never going to hurt your feelings or never do something wrong, and they do all the time. I mean, I've been, but I started going to church as an adult, so I didn't have the whole upbringing thing, and so for me, admittedly, some of the more frustrating times and some of the things that have made me the angriest and most disappointed are some of the human beings there, but I've also found some of the best people on the planet there. And I've also personally, for me, I mean, everybody has their own thing, but all I can talk about is what happened to me. What happened to me, it's where I learned how to be a better dad. It's where I learned how to be a better husband. It's where I learned how to be a better leader. Spiritual growth and faith in God has revolutionized my life. Now, some people, they have not had that experience. I understand, but I'm talking about me. That's what happened to me. So, Sharon often jokes, we've been married 38 years. She's really thankful she's not married to the same guy she started with. That he has been transformed because he was pretty much a twerp. I don't know exactly how I talked the woman into marrying me, but I will tell you this: after 38 years, I'm a much better husband, and I attribute some of that to reading books on marriage, going to marriage counseling, and spiritual growth. And learning about marriage through the lens of my spiritual walk and through Scripture. That's an example. And you could talk about leadership on that, and you can talk about raising your kids that way. Do all kids who are raised by parents who go to church turn out? No, they don't all turn out. I mean, we all know somebody's kid who hit the wall, I mean, that's part of life. But, but I did learn a lot about being, a kind, compassionate, firm, solid dad, and sticking through the process from people of faith in the mix of the Christian community, in the mix of church. But, I understand if you grew up in a situation where you had a toxic environment or something that it might not be that. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, so, I was raised Catholic, and, with that came a lot of traditional values, conservatism, being one of them. And, I'm kind of in college now, kind of finding my own way. And with that came a more diverse opinion of things. That did lead to some clashing with my parents, which is ultimately why I decided to leave the faith. But I was just kind of asking.
So you left your parents' faith?
Correct.
You didn't leave the faith. You left your parents' faith.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I mean,
if the clash with your parents caused you to not like God, then you weren't like, you were only hooked to them anyway, right?
Well, basically, I think I had a strong complex of wanting to appease them. They were very strong, traditional parents. So, they said, do what I say and make sure that, you're going to school and becoming what we want you to be a little bit. I wanted to be a priest for a very long time, kind of because of their wishes. So I guess, it was more of a parent fallout, but I did stop going to church. I did stop practicing. And I guess now is just kind of where I'm finding my way back into it a little bit. And I was just calling in to see, maybe some.
Yeah, I think you just find out. I think you find out for yourself now what you were really going for. if you were just going to make your daddy happy, that's not faith. And
Right.
so you've got to find your own now, or not. But you're just defining that. I'm just an old guy talking to you. I'm not a theologian, dude. You probably know more
I
about
think it
this.
helps
If you
to-
were studying to be a priest, you probably know more about this than I do. But it just seems, from a relational standpoint, you're just a young guy, it sounds like, and in college, and you don't want to get your political stand and your faith confused. Those are not. They're not. They're not synonymous. They do inform some things. If you believe in the doctrines of your faith, they're going to inform some stands in the marketplace.
Right.
For instance, Catholics have a very strong pro-life agenda and believe very pro. And so, if you want to be politically left on that subject, you're going to struggle with your Catholic doctrine because they don't believe that.
Yeah.
The Pope, Mother Teresa, so on, have spoken very clearly on these issues, and very eloquently, by the way, and with great persuasion. So that's just an example, but that's where politics will intersect your faith. But you don't have to say all Catholics are conservatives or all evangelicals are conservatives, because they're certainly not.
Right. No.
So anyway, if I were you, I'd go look for your own. What was it that you were there for you? What portion of the hour that you sat there fed you and was not there for your dad? Because I think you have figured out very clearly. You're very self-aware, very wise. I appreciate your words. You were somewhat living through their faith, their umbilical cord, and that's been clipped now. And so now you've got to find your own connection to God. And when you find that, it's going to be rich and deep because it'll be yours. So that's kind of the experience I had, dude, because I in the sense of I started going to church as an adult. I met God as an adult. And so, it was a very personal thing. It wasn't attached to my upbringing, perpendicular to what yours was. So interesting discussion. I'm honored that you would ask me something like that, but I'm probably the last guy on the earth should be commenting on it, but I'm expert on my opinion, so I can always tell you what happened to me, and that's what happened to me. Hey, thanks for the call. Good luck with that. I'll pray for you.